welcome you to the 24th Annual Scholarship-Ring Dinner. My name's Rob Schmidt. I'll be your host for the evening. The best part about this event so far that I've found out is this year they have given me a wireless microphone to work with. That is Ron Strollo's nightmare, because now I can act like a stand-up comic and just walk back and forth and try my shtick this way. What it also does is it kills Kyle in the back, who now has to chase me around the stage with the camera. So we're going to try and keep him active, and we'll see if we can't do a little bit of some fun things along the way. All right, as always, I'd like to thank you for sharing this night with us. It's always an honor. It's a great turnout once again. I think a lot of people are amazed at the turnout we have here this evening. So again, we want to thank you for your support of Youngstown State Athletics. We want to thank you for being part of the Youngstown State family. I'm now proud to announce, after talking with Tom Morello, that we have now raised $1.4 million in table sponsorships since the inception of this event. And that does not include individual ticket sales, does not include program advertising, and other monetary donations. Now the credit again goes to you, but more importantly it goes to Joe Malmaser. Where's Coach Mal at tonight? If he would please stand. It was his brainchild that got this whole thing started, and he remains an integral part of this success of this banquet year in and year out. So we want to thank him, and our heart and blessings are with Joe Malmaser. Also, we want to thank the more than 350 student athletes who currently attend Youngstown State University. They're not all here, but with our current student athletes who are in attendance tonight, would they please stand? Also, thanks to everyone here at Mr. Anthony's for their hospitality. I can't thank them enough for everything they have done here tonight to make this another big success. Can we have a nice round of applause for the staff and management at Mr. Anthony's? If you go home hungry tonight, it's your fault. So again, thank you to them. Thanks to Covelli Enterprises for its continuing support of this event. Also, we appreciate the work of Multimedia Farms for the digital screens and their use of those here this evening. Thank you. Also, thanks to Birkeland Flowers for the beautiful centerpieces that you have on your tables. And thanks to Pegasus Printing for the work on the program that you have at your seats here this evening. So nice round of applause for those people and the hard work they put in tonight. Before we bring up our first guest speaker, there are several people here tonight who we would like to recognize. First and foremost, the Board of Trustees. Would they please stand? Obviously, it's been a difficult time for them over the last 48 hours. They're to be commended for the job that they have done at Youngstown State. Also, Dr. Martin Abraham is here. Would he please stand? The Dean of STEM. We want to thank him for his support. Dr. Abraham. Standing on the back wall, afraid of the microphone, would you please say hello to Executive Director of Athletics, Ron Strollo. Also, Associate Athletic Directors Elaine Jacobs and Rick Love, thank you to you. Also, a big thank you to Tom Morello and Jim Morrison. They coordinated tonight's event. Let's get a nice round of applause for those guys. Tommy puts a lot of work into this, make sure everybody's seated properly. You know, those guys put in some tireless hours getting tonight's event together. We also want to welcome and thank all of our coaches and staff for being here. Would our coaches and staff that I did not mention please stand? That includes Coach Slocum in the back. Thank you. All right, now to get things rolling here, the Penguin Club is proud to recognize the women's cross-country team for winning its first ever Horizon League championship in November. The Penguins placed 3 runners in the top 5, with senior Anna Pompeo finishing second out of 94 competitors, while senior Samantha Hamilton finished 4th, and freshman Mackenzie Clem, who finished and received Freshman of the Year honors, wrapping up 5th place. Congratulations to head coach Brian Gorby for being named Coach of the Year, along with his assistant coaches Nicole Strollo and Scott Denham. Would you now please direct your attention to the video screens?
I don't know, it was definitely a great experience, probably my greatest experience here at YSU in running in general, because I know like in high school, like I never won a championship or anything, like as far as with running. So to like just win that and to hear like all of my teammates like yelling and screaming at the end, you know, they were so cheering for me even though I was running and they were all done. And like once we found out we won, like just to hear like all of my team being ecstatic about it and excited about it, and like just to be a part of that and to realize I was a part of the team. Like we went through practices together and everything, and to realize like this was the payoff, like that was just surreal.
Well, I came in with an injury to conference. For about 3 weeks, I didn't run at all, to be honest. I didn't know I was going to be running at conference, so just to be there running with my team was great. And so knowing that they won and that I didn't hold them back in any way, like just weight off my shoulders, it was really a nice feeling.
It was really exciting, especially because it's my senior year, so of course everyone wants to always bring it home big on your last year, so it was very exciting. And I was coming off of a pretty big injury, so to be able to survive that was nice. So it was good because I could finish the race, and it was a good outcome to win.
It was awesome because Mackenzie and I had run at Boardman probably twice a year for 6 years coming into YSU. So it was awesome to be able to compete on the course again, and bringing home a title like this, there's no feeling to describe it.
Not at all, because Coach Gorby was saying that there was another freshman that was near me, so I was expecting someone to be right on me the whole entire time, but it was nice that they weren't.
Had a little bit of a tumble in the park before Horizon League, so just being able to run in the race was really good, and I was just like really happy to be a part of it and to be able to participate in the race.
I remember hearing it over the announcements, and then I just started screaming it to everyone, and we all kind of huddled together and started like laughing, crying all at once. It was really nice.
Well, I came from Bowling Green, and on the team, I am able to see like the stark difference between the team that I came from, which was in like the bottom half of the MAC, to come to this championship team. It's like night and day, and all the girls here have worked really hard, and they really deserve this championship, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. And I'd like to end with a quote from a great poet: "Fly with the Y and roll with the red." Brian Gorby.
All right, now, as many of you know, the athletic department relies heavily upon the Penguin Club and its members. With events like this evening, the Jamboree, the golf outing in the summer, the Penguin Club gives our student athletes a better chance to succeed. Most of you are already members. If you are not, you'll have an opportunity tonight. Here's Penguin Club President Ray Breyer to tell you why it's important to become a member of the team behind the teams.
I think Rob looked at my speech. Yeah, a lot of stand-ups there. Good evening and welcome. On behalf of the YSU Penguin Club, we want to thank everybody for supporting our 24th annual Scholarship-Ring Banquet. Congratulations to Don Constantine, who is very deserving of this award. A very worthwhile person. The YSU Athletics has a great value and importance to our community. It provides a rallying point for athletic events. It brings in individuals and potential students to our campus, and it creates a community togetherness and spirit. You may or may not be aware of what the YSU athletes provide to our community. For example, school visits, which create the role models for the younger kids, hospital visits that brighten up a day, attendance to help work, like at the Apple Butter Festival, spaghetti dinners, team clinics, and holiday projects. I was going to ask all the athletic students here to stand up, but Rob already did that. But let's give them another round of applause, all right? The Penguin Club can only exceed with hard-working members and board members. And these gentlemen give their time and dedication to this program and to YSU. And I'd like to have them all stand up. Board members of the Penguin Club, please. And the Penguin Club, as much as these gentlemen work hard, there are two gentlemen that Rob already talked about, Jim Morrison and Tom Morella, that really, really are the backbone of the Penguin Club. And another round of applause for those two gentlemen. The Penguin Club was founded in 1974 and has 653 members at this present time. In 2014, the fiscal year, we had the highest membership income level in the history of the Penguin Club. The Penguin Club endowment is housed and managed at the YSU Foundation, who does a great job in gaining investments for the program. We now exceed $1 million in the endowment. The past year, we have hosted scholarship outings, as Rob said, the bocce social event, the jamboree, reverse raffle, and auction. If you haven't attended that, that's really a pleasure, a lot of fun, and a lot of good things happen there. We have also contributed over $200,000 to the very successful West of 5th soccer and softball field. If you haven't had the opportunity to see that, as soon as the snow goes, sometime in June, you should visit it. It's very impressive. We've also provided a loan to the university of $180,000 for the purchase of the new Beagley video and scoreboard. If you've been there, you've seen what a great thing that is. We annually contribute $40,000 to the athletic department for the purchase of technology, such as computer hardware, video equipment, and the like, that is used by the staff and the student athletes. We also provide stipends to YSU student assistants in the YSU Athletic Marketing and Sports Information Department. I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about an organization within an organization, and that is the Football Alumni Club. We are made up of ex-football players. Right now we have a current membership of about 180. Our goal is 500. We host a football alumni golf outing, the annual spaghetti dinner, and for those of you who could remember, that was formed by Dyke Beatty and Willard Webster. Anybody remember those two fine gentlemen? We also host the bocce tournament in conjunction with Deborah L. Hingle at the Athletic Scholarship. And at this time, I'd like to thank Dave Hinkle for his efforts. He's a true gentleman and supporter of YSU. Dave, please stand up. Where are you at? We also have a thing called the Blast Day, where before a game we get about 250 to 300 ex-football players. They come together before the game and they share the memories and times and all those good stories that naturally get better each year. We also host Senior Tunnel Day, where we form a path for the team running through us, which is the last game of the year that honors the seniors. To date, the Football Alumni Club has donated over $200,000 to YSU scholarships and the football program. In closing, look on your table. There's a Save the Day card on your table. If possible, attend these events if you can. They are fun and they provide funds for the program. Remember, in members come strength and dollars. With your contribution, hopefully some new contribution, we can do amazing things for this program. We just need you. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Ray. I had a chance to kind of check my Twitter account. Thanks to Ralph Fajak for favoriting one of Jamie Hall's tweets. Let me read one here. I think I read one that was somewhat interesting. I know you think you're funny. Don't forget to bring home milk. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to. Really? I didn't know my wife had a Twitter account. Maybe it's my daughter, one of the two. All right, this past season, the YSU football team got off to a great start. Best start in 12 years. Won 8 games for the first time in 2006. Head coach Eric Wolford has been hard at work since the end of that season. He and his staff have been out recruiting and recently signed 24 student athletes who picked up their letter of intent and agreed to play here at Youngstown State. Since his arrival, the YSU football program has maintained its highest GPA in school history. In fact, this past September, nice round of applause. In fact, this past semester, more than 45 players posted a semester GPA above 3.0. Nice round of applause for our football players. Here's head football coach Eric Wolford.
Obviously, welcome. Congratulations, Dawn. I know you're nervous about me talking about you here tonight, but I'll take it easy on you. But on behalf of all of our coaches at Youngstown State, I would like to extend, first of all, a thanks to all of you. Without you guys in this room, a lot of things don't happen. And I've said from day one, it's a support system that the Penguin Club is behind all of our programs that give our athletes, our coaches, give us a chance to succeed. And it's a competitive market out there in all the sports that we participate in, and we need that support, and that's a big part of what we've been able to do. Tonight, I asked Trevor Parks, to put together some things for me, because I want to spread some positivity in our community, and I don't think enough of that's done. I don't think enough good things are said about Youngstown State and the things that are going on right here underneath our nose. I just came off of a recruiting cycle, and we do have some challenges that we go against in recruiting, but I can tell you there's a lot of great things going on here at Youngstown. Don Constantini is a fine example. I expected tonight to see his 2 Ferraris sitting up here with the engines revving of what happens when you get a Youngstown State degree, but I guess you couldn't bring them up from Florida. So, but I really want to talk about some things here briefly. I don't want to be long, but I think there's some things that need to be recognized. Last year, I did forget a couple people, and I didn't want to upset anyone. But talking about academics, we had a school record 47 student athletes of a 4.0 GPA. That's impressive. As an athletic department, our athletes have maintained a 3.0 higher GPA in 7 of the past 8 semesters. That's very impressive. All teams have a cumulative GPA of 2.75 or above, 13 or higher than a 3.0. In the fundraising standpoint, where are we at? Scholarship endowments are at an all-time high. We're near 100 for the 2014-2015 school year. Tonight's banquet is the largest banquet that we've had in the last 18 years. So we're growing. The Penguin Club is having one of its best years regarding event participation, whether it be the Jamboree, golf outing, ring dinner, and obviously our donations are at the highest level in years. Athletic success. This is about championships. Youngstown State's about championships. That'll never change. Our women's cross-country team won the Horizon League, and men were second. That's been recognized thus far. Our volleyball team has had back-to-back winning seasons. Soccer has reached the postseason in consecutive years, 2 years in a row now. Football won 8 games for the first time in 7 years. We had freshman and newcomer of the year, Martin Ruiz. Men's basketball is closing in on its 3rd straight winning season for the first time since the early 80s. Think about that. Huh? Women's basketball team's 1 game out of first place in the Horizon League. Both track and field, swimming, and diving teams have athletes who are in the hunt for multiple league championships next week. And that's what Youngstown's about, championships. Lastly, we've been able to do facility improvements and enhancements with outside money, not using university money. Things that we've been able to accomplish there. Bigley Center, a video board in the arena, a new weight room, video room, tennis lounge. And the Watts, we've been able to finish the locker rooms, the lounges for the track and field, and for both golf programs. Farmers National Bank Field, new home of the soccer and outdoor track and field, and obviously that's right there with the YSU softball complex, which will be open in exactly 1 month from today, and that's right across from Stanbaugh Stadium. The Penguin Club put over $200,000 in that, so congratulations to all of you for that. So there's a lot of great things going on here at Youngstown. I just think sometimes you have to take this opportunity to recognize that and bring it to your attention. And that's what this moment's for, because I think we have a great place, we have a great product, we have great people here, and we need to celebrate that. And that's obviously something that we can do here tonight. Dawn, congratulations to you. We love you. The football family loves you. The Penguins love you. It's a great honor. You're in special company there with a lot of great people. As I look through that book, I can tell your hairline's changed a little bit since you were younger. But it's much better than Rob Schmidt's, as you can see. But, you know, I just appreciate your friendship. I appreciate all you've done for our program. You know, I know that it's tough coming back to Florida. This is the first time you've been back to this thing in a while when you're down there in that penthouse in West Palm Beach, eating at the Palm Beach Grill every night. But we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're on our team. I'm a little bit concerned about this being a special night, so I don't know. We'll probably take it easy on Dawn, but we appreciate your family and all you've done for all of us. And thank you, all of you. Continue to support us. Stand up and fight for Youngstown. We've got a great thing going here, and let's build this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. You know, that's one reason why I wanted that wireless microphone for tonight. I checked the DVDs of some years past. I kept noticing I had several nervous twitches. I would move my neck back and forth, and I'd grab the mic for no reason, like it was trying to run away. And I'd tip my head, so the camera in the back would constantly show that my hair plugs never did really take. So I figured if I could at least use this, make Kyle work a little bit, I wouldn't have to dip my head as much. So then Coach Wilford, who has a great head of hair, right? Big strapping dude, right? Talks a big game, you know, gets me excited when he talks about football. Got that great head of hair, right? When that thing's gone, I will be there to make sure that you know that head of hair is gone, right? Misery loves company. All right, with that, really the best part of this night, you know, obviously we joke and we have a good time and a great meal here at Mr. Anthony's. You know, we have an opportunity to recognize our student athletes and really the positives of Youngstown State. And there are a lot of things that we know as supporters of this university offer a lot to the community and to the nation as a whole. You know, I mentioned Dean Abraham earlier. I'd like to mention Betty Jo Licata is here, the Dean of the Business Administration Program. If she would stand, where's Dean Licata? There she is in the back. I'll give you a little story about Dean Licata. She doesn't really know me. She's probably only met me maybe once or twice. But my daughter just enrolled here at Youngstown State. She's in her freshman year. Okay? We brought her to crash day a year ago. So we go through the preliminaries. You get to meet people. You get to register. You get your little knickknacks. We then, at that time, she wanted to become a business marketing major. So we go sit in the class. Dean Licata is the speaker, kind of gives you an idea of your mock schedule that you're going to have as your freshman year. By the time she was done, my daughter was so afraid that she didn't want to enroll in business marketing. In fact, Dean Licata had me so nervous that I'm like, I don't even know if I want to enroll in this school. But she is great. My daughter is now a business marketing major. She draws the best out of people. She realizes that if you're not going to get ahead in this world, then it's not worth fighting for. So we want to thank her for her work and kind of steering my daughter in the right direction. So thank you, Dean Licata, for that. As we had talked about, really one of the best parts of this night is getting to know our student athletes. They sit at your tables tonight. We've always told them they're more than just a number or a name in a program, and tonight bears that out. You've had a chance to hear from them in the past. I always look forward to hearing from our student athletes. Once again, tonight we have two outstanding individuals who not only represent the athletic department, but this university as a whole. They excel both on the field and in the classroom. Our first student athlete is a member of our women's golf team. Last year as a sophomore, she won the Horizon League Championship by 7 shots with an impressive 3-round score of 221. That included a second-round score of 1 under par 71. She became just the 4th golfer in school history to take home medalist honors. A native of Poland, she also set a school record with a second-round 67 at the Dayton Invitational and was the Penguins' top finisher in 4 tournaments. More importantly, she was named to the academic All-Horizon League team, a recipient of the Gene D'Antonio Scholarship. Would you please welcome Allison Mitzel.
Good evening. I think it'd be easier to tee off in front of 800 people than to speak in front of 800 people, but I haven't done one or the other until now. So before I begin, congratulations, Mr. Constantini, on being named the Penguin of the Year. I would like to thank everyone in attendance this evening, as well as the Penguin Club, because the student athletes and myself would not have the many opportunities available here at YSU without your continued support of our athletic programs. I need to also thank my parents, grandparents, and sister for all being here this evening and for being my biggest and most faithful supporters. I need to make a quick shout out to my brother and sister-in-law who, they're both YSU alumni, but they couldn't make the trip here because they live in Italy. And thank you also to Mike Faggart of York Mahoning for hosting our table and for continually supporting YSU. I need to also thank Marty Hayden and Marilyn Obruba for making sure all of us are on track with our degrees and are meeting eligibility. Specifically, I need to thank you, Marty, for putting up with me these past 3 years. I must have changed my major and minor together about 5 times, yet I'm still on track to graduate within 4 years. I think I finally figured it out, and I promise I won't change it again. About 2 years ago, I began working at Youngstown Country Club as an assistant in the golf shop. It makes my involvement with YSU more meaningful because I've been able to meet and interact with many of our donors firsthand. My bosses, Scott Sundstrom and John Jones, have been 2 of the best mentors I could possibly have, along with my swing coach, Mitch Camp. I want to encourage everyone, if you don't already, surround yourself with people that encourage you and make you better on a daily basis. It's always helpful to have someone to reach out to. Being a local kid, born and raised in Poland, I often felt that I needed to go away to school. After my high school team won the state championship my sophomore year, I began to believe I could play golf at the collegiate level. My parents and I would leave on Fridays once I was finished with school, drive a minimum of 5 hours to play 36 holes over the weekend, return home late Sunday night, and go to school Monday morning. It was just a small taste of what we athletes at the collegiate level must deal with on a daily basis. I'm very thankful for my past coach, who could not be here tonight, Roseanne Schwartz and her husband Dick. Without them, I would never be here at YSU. I had looked at many universities in the country, and I never felt at home and at ease with the school until I visited YSU. She believed in my abilities and potential, and I was very thankful to receive a scholarship from her and the university. One of the great things about going to YSU is that I live extremely close to home because I'm very close with my family, and it's great to be able to stop by to my house within 10 minutes from campus. Particularly when I've been sick or I just need to bring my dirty laundry home, I'm so thankful for my mom, especially since she says she doesn't mind washing my clothes. But being an athlete, we are constantly in the weight room or practicing in order to take ourselves another step closer to a conference championship. I felt blessed to have won conference as a sophomore. Finishing 4th my freshman year gave me that small taste of what it could be like to win. Everyone has something that motivates him or her. I was not able, as an individual, to automatically advance to regionals last year, and it honestly broke my heart. It is something that's been in the pit of my stomach since. But knowing that our team is more than capable of going to the next level, I want the chance for my teammates and myself to experience playing against the best teams in the country. I believe under our new coach, Nate Miklos, we will bring a conference championship back to the Valley this spring. So some common questions we get asked playing collegiate golf: do we get caddies? Do we get to ride in a cart? It would be nice, but the answers are no. For the typical golfer, everyone estimates that an 18-hole round of golf in a cart should take about 4 hours. But in college, we walk with our bags on our backs. Anything under 5 hours is a good round. If you play under 4.5 hours, it's an awesome round. But when you add in your warm-up time, and especially the days we play 36 holes, you basically live at the golf course from sunrise to sundown. Golf is such a mental sport. We are out there on the course. We do not get timeouts or have halftime. We are out there on our own, and you have no idea if your teammates just made 3 birdies in a row or lost a ball in a hazard. I remember during my sophomore season, we were playing in the MAC Invitational. We, as well as 2 other teams, did not receive the luck of the draw with tee times. We must have teed off in some of the worst wind and rain we've played in during my career here. The earlier tee times had beautiful, calm weather, and that's the thing with golf. You never know what the weather may do. I don't believe any of the teams were proud of their rounds, the ones that teed off late. It was one of those days that you're just trying to stay positive and keep the ball in play. But the next day when there was a shotgun start and everyone played in the exact same conditions, I believe we posted the lowest or one of the lowest rounds of the day. It's honestly a crazy game. We have to be prepared for any type of weather. Although we are Penguins, I think I can speak for a lot of us that we're very thankful to have the opportunities to play events in the South. Another thing I've noticed, especially if I'm out of town, people love YSU and have great support of our programs. I remember this past summer, I was playing in a women's AM qualifier at the University of Michigan. My parents and I were eating dinner in this little Irish pub in town, and someone walking by our table saw the Y logo on my hat and immediately started a conversation with us about he being an alumni, and it was great to see someone from YSU up in the area. And another time, my dad and I were waiting in a taxi line in Vegas. Both had YSU clothes on and I had my golf bag in hand. The person directly in front of us was from Cortland and a graduate of YSU. Anytime I've encountered someone like in these situations, I've always heard great things about YSU, glad they had gone to school here. I wouldn't have it any other way here at YSU, especially to have the chance to have small class sizes and the professors take the opportunity to know your name. It makes YSU a close-knit family. I've always believed that everything happens for a reason and that God has a plan in store for all of us. And honestly, who has a better mascot than us? We are so unique. I'm a Penguin for life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you.
Very nice, Allison. She was very nervous. You did a great job. Our next student athlete is a member of the men's basketball team. Before the start of his senior season, he was selected the Horizon League's preseason player of the year. He currently leads the league in scoring and has scored 30 points or more in 6 games this season. He recently became YSU's all-time Division I scoring leader, and this past Saturday he became the Horizon League's all-time career leaders in steals. He was named the 2013 YSU Male Athlete of the Year and is also the first YSU player since Quinn Humphrey to earn back-to-back first-team all-league honors. However, his accomplishments are not just on the court. He was named the Horizon League's Male Student Athlete of the Month for January for his work in the classroom. The 2013-2014 recipient of the Olga D. and Joseph Malmercer Scholarship. Would you please welcome Kendrick Perry?
Rob, you look good, man. You look real good. Like every time I see Rob, he just looks a lot younger. Every time I see him, I don't know. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thrilled to be here tonight. On behalf of my parents, coaches, teammates, I'd like to thank the Penguin Club and the YSU Athletic Department for this event. I want to express my appreciation for everyone, not only the support you've shown me during my 4 years here, but for all the support for all the student athletes. One thing that people underestimate about the Youngstown community is the support that you give our student athletes on a daily basis. That's why this summer, we as a team helped with several cleanup projects throughout the city in an effort to give back and make Youngstown a better place than it already is. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have received an athletic scholarship to not only play basketball, but to have a chance to earn my degree in criminal justice. I'm proud to say that I currently have a 3.5 grade point average and will graduate in the spring. I do have some catching up to do because Mike Podolsky has a 4.0, so. Looking back on it, I couldn't have made a better choice than to attend Youngstown State. As most of you know, I came here from Florida. I remember my initial visit was on a Sunday, and I then committed on a Tuesday, without my mom ever seeing the campus. Mind you, this was in the fall, so the coaches did a good job of making sure I didn't see any snow or anything, so kudos to Coach Slocum. Needless to say, though, my mom was a little concerned, but I knew that she trusted my judgment. On the other hand, my brother called me from college and simply told me 5 words: good luck with the snow. My time in YSU has taught me how to work together with others both on the court and in the classroom, which will undoubtedly help me throughout the rest of my life. I want to thank my coaches, Coach Slocum, Coach Wernicke, Coach DePauli, Coach Hall, Coach Brunsma, and Coach Todd Berkey. They've done a great job for preparing me to the next stage of my life. Special thanks to Coach Slocum, who instilled the confidence and values in me that a leader should have. Plus, he always looks smooth. Where's he at? Where's Coach Slocum at? I know he's back there. I see you, Coach. It's all love, Coach. I truly value my teammates and the lifelong friendships that we have established. We've been through a lot, but we like to laugh a lot, too. especially on the road. It's funny to hear what people have to say when they see us in the airport or the hotel. Not me, because I'm the shortest, one of the shortest on the team, but, guys like Bobby, where is he at? Big Bobby over there. I think the funniest nickname that Bobby had was when somebody said that he looked like a giant Justin Bieber. So, we've kind of embraced that nickname. So, from now on, we call him either Bobby Bieber or the Big Biebs. But if neither of those work, you can just call him Big Surf. I have a lot of great memories of my time here at YSU. One that comes to mind especially is a professor in my law enforcement administration's class who was upset with me after I got a 94 on the test. Now, the last time I checked, a 94 was pretty good. But my professor was so focused on me getting every answer correct that he expected more of me. And now I expect even more from myself. In his eyes, good enough still wasn't good enough. That's the type of message that I take very seriously. And I'd like to pass that along to my fellow student athletes. It's not always easy, between attending classes, practices, being on the road. It can be overwhelming at times. But it's all worth it when you realize that you have the love and support of those around you. I'd like to wish the other teams at YSU that are currently playing or practicing the best of luck. Like Coach Warford said, YSU as a place is just getting so much better. It's so much support. As you see around this room, all 800 of you guys, us as student athletes, this isn't possible without all of you. So, I'm really fortunate to be in this position that I'm in, but, I couldn't do it without all of y'all. Again, thank you for all that you've done to make Youngstown State such a great place. I'm proud to be a Penguin. God bless and good night.
Now, had I known you and Cam were going with the bow tie, I might have opted for the bow tie. Still, my shoes aren't as shiny as those, though, man. I know you brought a different pair that you can wear home. You ain't wearing them in the snow. Don't be kidding me now. All right, with that, we have a couple other students that we'd like to recognize here. 3 individuals in particular who are recipients of this year's Chuck Perzich Scholarship. Now, the scholarship is in honor of the longtime sports editor of The Vindicator. It's awarded to the students who assist in the sports information department. Would they please stand on it? Here we have Jory Benecki, Kyle Karanovich, and Brandon Ross. Of those three, B. Ross is the loose cannon. He's the wild card. He's been tweeting all night. I haven't read any of them yet, I'm afraid to. All right, with that, we want to honor our 2014 Penguin of the Year. But before we do that, we would like to recognize those who have been honored in the past, our previous Penguins of the Year. When I announce your name, if you would please stand. Last year's recipients, Dr. Daryl and Vicki Mincy. There they are. Reed and Judy Schmutz. Back corner. Dennis and Janet Haynes. Doctors Diane and Michael Millador. They drew the short straw. The Milladors had to sit with Coach Slocum. They drew the short straw. Sorry about that. Maybe next year we'll seat you in a better spot. I can't hear you. That means it's pretty good. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Marilyn O'Leary. Joe Malmaser. Coach Ed DeGregorio. Members of the YSU Football Alumni Group, those of you in attendance, please stand. And lastly, Jeff Wilkins. Now, I did leave one out, and I have a reason why. Past Penguin of the Year, Paul McFadden. Would he now please come up and introduce this year's honoree? Paul is currently president of the YSU Foundation. Prior to that, he was the Chief Development Officer at Youngstown State University. A proud YSU graduate, Paul also kicked in the NFL with the Eagles, Giants, and Falcons, earning Rookie of the Year honors in 1984. Here's Paul McFadden.
Thank you, Rob, and I want to thank Don for this very special honor of introducing him this evening. Don Constantini and his twin brother Ben were born in Youngstown, Ohio on March 18th, 1943. And I can assure you our honoree's photograph is on the screen right now. So is his brother Ben. Unfortunately, they don't know who's who themselves in this photograph. Don moved on to Boardman High School and then matriculated to Youngstown State University. I want to thank Jackie Levisser in our alumni office for loaning me this 1966 yearbook, because based on the photographs in this yearbook, Don Constantini was a big man on the campus of Youngstown University. He was treasurer of student council, treasurer of Alpha Kappa Psi, apparently liked being around the money, secretary of Sigma Phi Epsilon. He was on the honor roll. He was on the dean's list. He received the Dean Gillespie Award and received the honor of fraternity man with the highest grade point average of the year. He established a tremendous record of success and achievement during his undergraduate days. He graduated in 1966 and went out into the real world with these great skill sets that he gained at YU. He started his career in Anderson, Indiana with the Delco Remy division of general manager, first as a production supervisor, then promoted to general foreman. But in 1969, he returned to Ohio, Columbus, Ohio specifically. He was named terminal manager from McNicholas Transportation in Columbus, and he quickly advanced in that position. Director of maintenance, vice president for sales, and in 1974, at 31 years of age, he was named president of the company. In 1982, he took an entirely different direction. Along with two friends from McNicholas, they branched out on their own. They purchased Falcon Transport, and they created Compass Transportation. And throughout the decade of the 80s and the 90s, these two companies under Don's leadership flourished. In 2000, he created a new division, Comprehensive Logistics, to provide supply chain management primarily to the automotive and steel industries. That brings us to today, 2014. Falcon Trucking has over 1,200 tractor trailers. If you're like me, you see them all throughout the country when you travel. They have 1,200 employees. They operate 38 terminals throughout the United States. Falcon has received the GM Supplier of the Year Award, the Daimler Chrysler Gold and Pentastar Awards. Comprehensive Logistics employs 1,500 employees, and they have over 3 million square feet under management. Between now and this summer, Comprehensive Logistics will hire an additional 500 employees. Away from all this work, he still had time for some fun, and he had two primary passions. One was Youngstown State University. He never left his alma mater. He always stayed close. Passionate football fan, great supporter. If you've been in Dean Licata's brand new Williamson building, the Don Constantini Computer Lab is right off the beautiful atrium. If you've been in our Andrews Recreation and Wellness Center, the Don Constantini Locker Room is down on the first floor, making life better for our students. And he's endowed a scholarship for a student athlete at YSU. He's traveled extensively following our Penguins. I could recall a few years ago getting lost in the Appalachian Mountains with Don, Diana, and Rick Schiraldi trying to find Appalachian State. We've been to northern Iowa. He's been all over the country following his Penguins. And if you ever want a really good seat at a football game, go up to the Loge Complex, because he has the nicest loge, arguably, in the Loge Complex, but insists on sitting outside in the first half. So you could have his seat upstairs. His other passion, his stronger passion, is his family. I know he takes great pride and love in getting to work with his sons Mark and Brad every day at the company, his grandchildren, and we all know the most special person in his life is Diana. I want to thank Diana for all her help putting together today, especially the baby picture. You know, we're from Youngstown, Ohio. We're Penguins. We're very proud. Maybe we're stubborn about it, but we're very proud of where we're from and what we represent. But in a very real and tangible way, Don Constantini may represent us the best and may bring us the best notoriety. Years ago, it was Don Constantini who insisted on all 1,200 Falcon trucks that Youngstown, Ohio, be affixed to the side of those trucks. And if you're like me, you're in San Diego and the Pacific Northwest and the East Coast and Florida and Texas, and you'll see, wow, there's one of those Falcon trucks that says Youngstown, Ohio, right on the side of that truck. And later started under Coach Tressel and now revived under Ron Strollo. Don Constantini is having Pete the Penguin and Youngstown State University affixed to the back of all 1,200 of those trucks. You know, there's so many alumni that say, I'm lucky to be from an alma mater. I'm lucky to be from that place. Youngstown State University in Youngstown, Ohio is lucky that Don Constantini calls Youngstown, Ohio home and YSU his alma mater. It's an honor to call to the podium. Please join me in calling to the podium the YSU Penguin Club 2014 Penguin of the Year, Mr. Don Constantini. Come over here. Yeah, right here, Bob. You do this. All right, be right here. You got it. We have two special presentations as our student athletes will present Don with his Penguin of the Year plaque. And now our athletic director, Ron Strollo, will present Don an official varsity Y jacket.
There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's right there.
Well, I guess it's just wow to start with. What a turnout for this event this evening. It's great to see the support that the YSU athletics can generate. And first of all, I'd like to thank the members of the Board of Trustees of YSU, faculty members, Ron Strollo, the athletic director, Cavelli Enterprises for their support, and all the members of the Penguin Club. Also like to thank the friends and business associates that traveled to be here tonight. It truly is an honor to be included in the distinguished group of past Penguin of the Year recipients. I wish Mom and Dad were here to hear all the nice things Paul McFadden had to say. Dad would listen, but Mom would believe him. I'd like to, at this point, introduce the members of my family, my two sons, Mark and Brad. You just put your hand up or something. Brad's wife, Lori, and their children, Emma, Kate, and Brad II. Yeah. They're my favorites. My twin brother, Ben, who traveled from San Diego, California to be here tonight. Ben? And last but not least, my best friend and significant other of 20 years, Diana Delicio. Who's always very supportive, which is important to me. My journey started here in Youngstown, Ohio. Mom and Dad came from Italy. Our family was small, just Mom, Dad, my brother Ben, and myself. YSU was and still is important to me. It created an opportunity to reach out and experience many new things. And one of these experiences leads me to a silly story. Being a business major, Myself, my brother, 3 or 4 fraternity brothers wanted to be entrepreneurs. So we formed the Campus Club, which was a social club. It met every Friday night in Boardman at the Boardman Hall that my mom and dad owned. YSU students would pay dues at the door, and beer and music was provided. We had a marketing plan to increase our membership. We put notices on student automobiles, communications to all the fraternities and sororities, and all the campus groups. Boardman at the time had no liquor sales. Therefore, beer was not to be sold at the bar. On the third Friday, our third meeting, we were packed. We had 250, 300 members. A plainclothes policeman tried to buy beer, but fortunately, my fraternity brother said, "We don't sell beer." Another fraternity brother came up shortly thereafter and said, "Hey, Don, we've got 4 Boardman police cars in the parking lot, and they're flashing all their lights." So we had to close. We couldn't refund the dues that were collected at the door. We got credit for a lot of the beer that wasn't used. So it was a short-lived business venture, but it was very profitable. A little more serious, on the serious side, in addition to the Campus Club, YSU's helped me develop certain traits that I've used in my personal and my professional life. First, it's to work hard, to be an overachiever. Don't give up. Second, have passion in whatever you do. Be accountable and respectful. Do things the right way. Last, cherish your relationship with your family and your friends. Our companies have changed over the years. The region's been good to us and also my family. We've employed thousands over the years. Currently, as was mentioned earlier, Falcon Transport employs 1,200 employees. Comprehensive Logistics, approximately 1,500. Comprehensive Logistics is proud to be the General Motors Lordstown lead logistics provider, handling 80% of all the parts that go into a Chevy Cruze. Comprehensive, as mentioned earlier, operates more than 3 million square feet of facilities in 14 locations in the United States and Canada. I am proud to say my 2 sons run the business. I pitch in on an occasion. Falcon and Comprehensive have hired many YSU graduates in accounting, management, and engineering. And I've been fortunate to be able to give back to the community and to YSU. Since the middle 1960s, YSU also has changed dramatically. Its campus has grown tremendously. Its role in the region has expanded. It employs approximately 2,200 people with an annual budget of $177 million, thus creating quite an economic impact for our region. However, its most important role is to educate and develop our future leaders of tomorrow. As Coach said earlier, which is a little bit unfortunate, to some in the area, YSU has a perception as being a lower tier institution. I wish they would investigate a little further and recognize the following, because I think this is really what it's all about when it comes to education. The Williamson School of Business Administration has a high accreditation. Only 30% of the business schools have that accreditation. Forbes magazine included YSU in the top 1/3 of 2,000 four-year universities. YSU ranks 21 of 400 in four-year institutions for providing the greatest lifetime return on investments. It provides a great value to its students and also graduates. The average national student debt for 2013 graduates were $35,000. The average debt for 2013 graduates of YSU were $22,000. The Bigley School of Education is one of the top 40 schools for teacher education. The STEM College is leading the way in making YSU a great research institution. The engineering school is in the top 25% in the world. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. The Dana School of Music and the YSU Performing Arts School provide great entertainment for our community. So we should be proud of YSU and what it means to our valley and the region. It's perhaps our best asset. Athletics have a tremendous impact on universities and their communities. They provide recognition both on the local, state, and national level. Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame are great institutions. But football also comes to mind when they're mentioned. YSU and athletics at YSU will help generate enrollment, endowments, and revenue, all of which are important for YSU to get through some of these difficult financial times. The president of the University of Alabama was asked to comment on Coach Saban's salary. His reply was, it was the best investment the university has ever made. Universities have hired consultants to track media coverage for all athletics for a year. They've calculated the exposure to be worth tens of millions of dollars in advertising. Athletics not only helps the institution, but also the student athlete at YSU to be successful. As mentioned earlier, perhaps, there are 400 student athletes at YSU. Their graduation rate is 93% for those who complete their eligibility. The average student athlete GPA is a 3.09. I would like to congratulate Allison, Kendrick, the ladies cross-country team, and all student athletes here and that attend YSU. A job well done. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. And in closing, I ask that you support YSU athletic programs and the and the Penguin Club with its 650 members. Be proud of our university and be proud of our community. Thank you for coming, and as always, go Penguins.
Thank you, Don. Well deserved. We love your support. Just a reminder as we wrap up our festivities here tonight, the men's basketball team will play host to Milwaukee Thursday at 7:05. They'll play at Valparaiso Saturday at 4 o'clock. The women's basketball team will be on the road. They'll play this Friday at Milwaukee, 8 o'clock. Then their next home game will be next Thursday against UIC. The men's tennis team will be hosting a pair of matches this weekend at the Boardman Tennis Center. They'll play IPFW on Friday and then Carnegie Mellon on Sunday. The YSU women's tennis team, which has won 3 of their last 4 matches, will be in Florida this weekend, competing at both Florida Atlantic and Florida International. They'll be back home next weekend to take on IPFW. The softball team just opened up their season last weekend, which included a win against Virginia. They'll be at Tennessee State this weekend playing in the Tiger Classic. The baseball team will try to get their season underway this weekend at UAB. Not only that, but the women's swimming and diving team will be competing in the Horizon League Championships next week in Cleveland. And we'd like to wish best of luck to the men's and women's indoor track and field teams as they compete in the Horizon League Championships next weekend, the weekend of March 1st, inside the Watts. Again, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate you coming here tonight. Hope you had a good time. Hope to see you at an event very, very soon. Good night. Drive safely.